YouTube, Smokehouse back here with you. Today, I'm gonna show you guys an excellent way of getting rid of leftover pork butt or leftover brisket. We're gonna make some, in this case, beef boudin. Traditionally, my neck of the woods, I'm originally from Houston, it is usually made with pork. However, there are different variations. It can be made with seafood, but today, I just happen to have a smaller brisket flat left in my freezer. I took it out last night. I've sent it through my food processor, and that's what you have. There's enough fat in that. I can tell it. I can tell the way it holds together. See how it forms that ball? That's gonna be crucial for making sure we get this specific type of sausage, aka boudin. Make sure that moisture content inside, that fat content, is where it needs to be. There's also some other things we're gonna do. My liquid for this dish is gonna be, so this is beef broth. I've taken a gelatin packet. If you don't know, when you make your own beef stock, you take both the bones and certain pieces of beef and you braise it, boil it down. Those bones, that collagen, that marrow leaks out and it reduces into a gelatin. That's why once you put it in your fridge, you have that layer above. That gelatin is very necessary. We're gonna help that in the bind for this sausage, boudin, and we're gonna go from there. Over here I got my natural pork casings. These things have been soaking in water for about 2 hours. These are packed in salt. It is necessary you soak them in water, and then I'll run water through the actual casing itself. I got my long grain white rice. Then I've got my veggies. Of course, that's garlic, green onion, green bell pepper. The recipe calls for yellow onion. I don't have a yellow onion, so I'm going with what I have. That's a white onion. We got this is a parsley, celery. All right, and then you got a myriad of seasonings. Let me go ahead and get started on this. Today is game day. You know, everybody sits down and watches the NFL today. This is another quick food I grew up with. I'm sure many of my friends who are from the South, from Louisiana in particular, from the Houston area, you know about that boudin. We're gonna put it together. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna put together my boudin. All right, I'll be back. Come on now, you see it. It's already smelling real fancy in here, man. It actually smells like boudin, and we haven't even put this meat and nothing else together. So that shows you that these vegetables, my garlic and my green onion is going in last because I don't want to wither that, and I don't want to burn that garlic. But it's already smelling good. This is being cooked down in butter, right? So then what we're gonna do from here, we're gonna take it over here and get that mixed together. All right, I'll be back. All right, here's where we at. I've got my rice. This is the base, right? So I put all my sautéed vegetables in there. The bell pepper, the green onion, the garlic, the white onion. I didn't have a yellow onion. Traditional yellow onion is used. I hit it with a little salt, put it in here with the rice. That's all I've done so far. So now I've take my grounded brisket. We're gonna go, some people like a meat heavy. I like a good half and half ratio. We're gonna go and we're gonna dump about half our brisket mixture in. If I need more, I have a little bit more left. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix it up. Eventually I'll get in here with my hands. So this is a real dry mixture. I can tell you that this brisket does have some fat in it, although you can't see it. We're gonna get it mixed real good, and I'll see if my ratio is good. The ratio I'm looking for, I like a good meat to a good rice, so ratio, so about half and half. So once I get this all mixed up, then we'll go from there. And this is really, you adjust on the fly. Some people are gonna have a more meat heavy boudin. Some people like it that way. I like mine, again, good half and half. I am gonna put the rest of that meat in here, right? We're gonna put the rest of that meat in here, and I'm gonna give me some gloves on because we gotta get in here and mix it. Again, this is 2 cups of rice I boiled last night. Since last night, it's been sitting on the stove. And then this brisket flat, it was a small flat. It was about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, right at that. So nothing spectacular. I'm gonna show you, again, I am showing you how we take leftover barbecue, and we repurpose it. So eventually I do plan on having a barbecue restaurant. Nothing will go to waste, and that's part of that recouping on everything that we buy, whether it's a whole hog, whole cow, everything will be used, right? So that's looking pretty good to me. Now, I'm gonna put this in the fridge for a little bit, and then I'll be back. I want this cold, but it doesn't have to be as cold as a traditional sausage, right? But it still needs to have some coolness to it. I like what we have here. I'm probably gonna make about 3 pounds of Boudin, 3 pounds of Boudin sausage. This is a bit different because everything is already cooked. Usually in most sausage, everything is going in raw, right? So you definitely need to keep everything cold. With this, those cooked items have went in here. I put half a stick of butter in there when I was sauteing those vegetables. That's in here too. All of that is flavor. And then I'm going to get my moisture content right. Stay tuned, you'll see how I do that. All right, commencing on with the season. This is some black pepper. Now, I do have little ones eating this, so I won't go, I did put some cayenne in here, but I won't go as heavy as I normally would if it's just us adults. Something that's really crucial in this, your favorite Cajun seasoning or Creole seasoning. I'm using Slap Your Mama and some Tony Chacheres. You use what you have, you could even make your own. These are salt heavy, so again, the salt I put in this will be really light. I have also used some MSG. That is salty in itself. So once I mix all this together, I will be tasting, giving it a good taste test. Because what you don't want, I got some extra liquid over here just in the case that it's too salty. Again, that's Tony Chacheres. In case that is too salty, then I can adjust, right? We're gonna go with some red pepper flakes. Ooh, season's got me coughing. Some paprika. I use a little bit of that cayenne, but that cayenne is hidden. We got some ground oregano. All right, again, I still have my casings setting that water, getting that salt off. All right, so now we're gonna go back in with my hands. I just finished washing them, and we're gonna mix. We're going to mix, make sure we got a good mix. The thing about making sausage is you can get flavor pockets. However, just imagine somebody biting into a sausage or a Boudin, and you've got seasonings that have not yet been rendered, right? Yeah, that can be quite frustrating for one, and it will cause somebody else not to want to try your food. So we're gonna give this a mix, and here shortly I'll be tasting this. If it's where I want it, I'm then gonna set this back in the fridge. We've already got a pretty good bind. You see how it's sticking together? That's what you want, because that's what you're gonna want inside of this sausage. That's called a bind. I don't need a binder in this. And raw sausage, I would totally be using a binder. Some of my next few videos will be sausage based. I won't go too sausage heavy on my channel, but being in Texas, from Texas, sausage is a must. This is yet one form of sausage that I grew up eating. It's also one reason I love food. I've been able to show my little daughter one of the things I've grew up eating. Now, not everybody's going to agree with or eat everything I eat. And I find some pushback usually when we start talking about some of the things that are native to us, that most people are like, ugh, I wouldn't touch that. So I've certainly eating my share of foods. I'm open to pretty much foods from everywhere. But this Boudin, every time we go to Houston, my family is asking, hey, we need to get some Boudin before we leave here so we can take back home with us. So that's what we have. I'm gonna give me a little bit of this. Actually, let's go here. Let's see what we got. It's delicious. That brisket gives it a nice smoke. I'm gonna leave it right there. The thing about doing something cold is typically you want to over season a bit. Why? Because as we cook, as things heat up, those flavors those seasonings are going to become hydrated with that beef broth and the fat that's in that beef brisket. So I'm gonna leave it right there because I don't want it to be over salty. The salt is right where we need it. I'm getting hints of that cayenne pepper. I tasted black pepper. I do use MSG, just a little bit. Over time, the MSG is going to amplify the flavors that's in this. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and set this in my fridge. I'm going to get my grinder set up. My sausage stuffer set up. And we're going to put this inside of some sausage casings, and I'll show you what I do next. Again, you can get a cheap sausage caser. These sausage casings I got these from Academy. I think they were like $4, $3, and they keep them there. So I've now got a steady supply of sausage casings when I want to make them. There are different types of casings you can use. I typically stick with either collagen when I want to make a good salami or summer sausage, or even wieners. Or, for the most part, you'll see me using these natural hog casings. I'll be back. It's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it. If you know, you know. We're getting ready to go ahead and stuff these Boudin. What I'm doing is, so these casings have been set in this water for about going on 3.5, 4 hours. Now what I'm doing is rinsing out the inside. I actually got it open, and every time I dip, water's getting in there. And you know it because you can see the casings expanding. All right, we'll be back. All right, this is the not so glamorous portion of stuffing sausage. Now, I'm a little bit less prone to record this part because I just feel like most people don't want to see me handling intestines, getting them onto this horn. But that's what we're gonna do. First, I need to find the opening. Hopefully they haven't tangled up on me. I did go ahead, so the outsides have been rinsed. The insides have been rinsed as well. They set in that water. Again, it's nothing but water, tap water to be specific. So I found the opening. So you can see that. This is the part that's gonna go over the horn. So what we're doing now is I'm getting grease on my horn so these casings can go right over. One of the issues I've had with these casings is that sometimes they can bind on this horn. So here's what we're gonna do. Right now they seem to be fine. When I get them on there, I'll hit another layer of oil on there. You don't want these to get stuck. And maybe I should have went with a smaller horn. You know what? Actually, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get these off of here. Get these off of here and put them back in the water. We're gonna go ahead and take this off. We're gonna put a smaller horn. Let me get that smaller horn. I'll be right back. Horn goes in like that. It's on. And again, it's less of a headache. I do have issues sometimes with my casing getting stuck. Now what that'll do is that'll cause holes, or that'll cause my these casings to get stuck. And typically when you got them filled, you don't want them getting stuck because then they're gonna cause holes and tears. And then the stuff that you're putting inside comes out. That's not a good sausage or Boudin. All right, so now we find the opening to that. And find this opening. These things don't always want to cooperate, so the fact that I'm even doing it on camera, there's gonna be something to go wrong. It's usually always how it goes. So we get it on, and then, so you see how much easier that goes on? So we're doing one at a time. Now, I have preloaded 3 or 4 of these casings on at one time. I don't have that much stuffing, so I'm not gonna do that because I tend to waste these. So that's what we're gonna do, and then we have that on. We're going on. What you want to do, and one of the main things with this is, I'm not gonna tie it yet. I'm gonna wash my hands. Now I'm gonna get the meat, and then we shall begin stuffing. All right, here's where we at. So this is kind of the finished product. I'm getting ready to, I'm not gonna start no fire. It's a bit windy and the temperature's dropping here in my house. So what we're gonna do, I got 3 candidates. I'll probably eat 3 of these smaller ones. I'm gonna set it up. After I cook them, I'll give you a little footage on that. I'll set it up with the accoutrement of how I eat these. And then we'll go from there. Give me a few minutes and I'll be right back.